Greetings and welcome to another video. It's Saturday, 5th of July 2025, and as you can see I'm in Wolverhampton this afternoon. Plan for today is to have a bike ride along the canals. There's a canal near to where I'm staying at the moment, so going to have a bike ride along there, have an explore, and hopefully it's going to be a good day. So yeah, catch you in a few minutes. I'll see you in a few minutes, and let's see how today works out. So as you can see, we're about to walk down onto the Birmingham mainline canal, and if we look to my right, a few meters in that direction is Wolverhampton train station. But what I want to do today is go from here down this way. And as you can see, we've got a couple of signposts giving information about Birmingham mainline trail along the canal. I'm not going to read the sign to you because, as you can see, it's a bit messy, which is unfortunate, but I'm sure it's got some interesting information going on about this part of the canal. What we want to do is come down this way for a bit. And as you can see, from where I'm standing, if we were to follow the canal to my left, we'll get to Bilston, 3 miles away from where I'm standing right now. We'll get to Birmingham, which is 14 miles from where I'm standing right now. But in the other direction, to my right, 1 mile away is University Science Park, and 4 miles away is the local business park, while behind me is the city centre and Wednesfield, and also the train station. So yeah. Now, a week ago, last Saturday, I was in Wolverhampton and I had a random cycle around and ended up along this section of canal. like I was saying, last Saturday, because of the nice weather, I decided to come to Wolverhampton on my bicycle and had a bit of a bike around. I didn't travel far, but I did come along a bit of the canal and travelled along the same section of the canal I'm currently sitting at. And I figured that today I'll do the same thing, but travel in a slightly different direction and try and travel a bit further than I did last week. I was hoping the weather would be better than it is today. It's trying to rain, but it hasn't rained properly so far. So what I'm going to do is pause recording right here, decide which direction I'm going to go in, and from time to time I'll pause, make a bit of a video at where I am and where I end up, and we'll see how things pan out from there. It's going to be good. Catch you in a bit. Right, so we've got some local information about the upkeep of the canal, which is cool. And if we have a look right in front of me, this is the path I'll be planning to travel along for a while. And if we take a closer look, this is Little's Lane Bridge. Little's Lane Bridge over the Birmingham main canal. And as you can see, as you can tell, it's running alongside the train track, so there's a good chance we'll see a few trains along here as we go down. Now that we're further away from the train station and Wolverhampton city centre, it is a lot more peaceful along here, which is awesome, to be honest with you. So what I'm looking at right now is where we were a few seconds ago, and I've just travelled a few yards down the path to get to where I am now. Then another bridge in front of me, which we're going to have a closer look at. And yeah. So as you can see, there's a lot of graffiti along places like this. Personally, I don't mind this kind of graffiti, this stuff. It's, well, to put it simply, urban artwork. I've got nothing wrong with graffiti like this. Normal artwork kind of thing. Would I hang this kind of stuff up on my wall at home? Probably not. But I still appreciate seeing some decent attempts at artwork along here. There is graffiti which is absolutely rubbish and awful stuff. But sometimes it can actually be surprisingly good. There's a lot of history along these canals from the days of the Industrial Revolution, and even before then, because before the invention of a car, before we had roads and motorways like we got today, rivers and canals were, well, how people got around. It's how people and cargo were transported from one part of a country to another. There's a lot of fascinating history going on with canals, to be honest. Definitely worth learning about. By the looks of it, this is lock number 6 along the canal. And if we look behind me, back that way, along the path under that bridge in front of me, back that way is where we started this video. That's back toward Wolverhampton city centre. But what I want to do is carry on this way, following the path that I'm now looking at. So I've come this far, and to my left, as you can see, there's this big factory place. I don't know who owns this. I don't know who owns this factory, and I don't know what kind of stuff happens here. But what's caught my attention is this signpost here. Fowler's Park, which, if we have a look, it's along this path here that I'm looking at. So if we have a look back at the canal, so if we were to follow the canal and follow the path I'm looking at right now, going along this path in front of me will take me back toward Wolverhampton city centre, and it will take me back to Wolverhampton train station. But what I want to do is follow this path here to Fowler Park. And let's have a look here. Okay, there's a signpost over to my right there, just in front of me. We're going to head over to that signpost and see what it says. Okay, I last saw a sign like this when I was here a week ago, and little signposts like this are giving information about the railway system and the canal system that run alongside here. So, where rails meet water. Canals were much smoother than old rotten roads. Strings of boats carrying heavy loads could be pulled along by one horse, with only small teams of boatmen working them. This was the start of a golden age for Wolverhampton. Its canals brought work and wealth to the area. It quickly became a leading industrial town. Incoming workers came across the UK and Ireland, swelled the town's population from 7,500 to over 12,000 people in the late 1700s. These were the men, women and children who carved out the canals, then built and worked in the factories that sprang up alongside them, and then, only a short time later, built the railways. The canal steps past you in a series of 21 locks, climbing from Alders Bay to Broad Street Basin. The railway and canal meet at the old platform, but it's not thought that it was used for unloading goods from either. It may have been used for maintenance and preparing the engines to be refilled with coal at the turntable further on. The factories on the other side of the canal had their own wharfs. Series works produced fertilisers. The corporation works processed human waste. Imagine the smell. Working here must have been horrible. Jordan's Bridge. Not always a dead end. In the mid-1800s it crossed the new railway to the fields and workers' houses. Imagine the workers trudging by, grimy and tired after long shifts in the factories. If they were lucky, tin baths, coal fires and hot food lay ahead of them in their crowded homes. And here you've got a map of the local, well, of this section of canal anyway. And you've got a timeline. 1770s to 1830s, workers flock here to build the canals, locks and bridges. Jordan's Bridge built over the canal. 1837, Grand Junction Railway opens northeast of Wolverhampton. 1840s, Canal use declines as railways become more popular, faster, more direct ways to ship goods. 1846. Shrewsbury and Birmingham railway opens. 1851. More factory workers flock to the area as industries grow. 1854. Great Western Railway reaches Wolverhampton. 1855. GWR build Stafford Road Works. 1857. Series works built between Canal and Crown Street. A bridge carried Crown Street over the railway lines. 1920. Local mine and foundry owner William H. Fowler dies. 1932. Fowler playing fields donated by his wife Jessie Margaret Fowler. 1935. Playing fields open up to the public. 1940s and 50s. Increasing numbers of people settled in Wolverhampton, helping to boost the area's recovery after World War II. 1963. Stafford Works closes, coaling plant demolished. 1985. Railway lines removed, pond created, and railway embankment landscaped. So from here, we're just going to travel down a path down this way to get to the last thing I want to have a look at in this video. Welcome to Fowler's Park. It would be easy to think that this park has always been a welcome green space for people to enjoy. It must have been fields once though, don't you think? You'd be right once. In the early history of the city it was exactly that. Open fields and farmland. But then something happened and it all changed. Canal started the transport revolution. Over time they became the backbone of the country's industry. Then the faster, more efficient railways outpaced them. New farm machines meant farms could produce more food and needed fewer people to work the fields. New factories sprang up, drawing people from the countryside into new towns and cities. Factory buildings, houses, railways and roads overlaid the open fields. And here you've got a picture or a map of Fowler's Park. And up in the corner here you've got a history and a timeline for Fowler's Park. And in the previous signpost we looked at a couple of minutes ago, there was a mention of Fowler's Park around here. And if we have a look from where I'm standing right now, this field in front of me must be Fowler's Park. Fascinating. Really good stuff. What I'm going to do is finish the video here. I'm not going to explore more of Fowler's Field. That's going to be maybe something to do another time perhaps. In the meantime, I just wanted to focus on exploring this section of canal here in Wolverhampton. And yeah, found it interesting. I'm glad I was here last week. I'm glad I made the effort to be here today. Good times. On that note, take care of yourselves, be safe, have a good weekend, and I'll see you all soon in the next video. Take care and goodbye.